Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Kyle here. So in the last episode, we went through re-sign phase and free agency. We unfortunately did let Claude Giroux go. He has signed with the Boston Bruins on a 2-year, $8.77 million contract. That was just more than we could really afford to pay him, or if we did pay him, it would be all of our cap. Um, so we're okay with that. Obviously, he's going to be really good. 88 overall still, and he should hold that at a top six overall or top six potential. But what we did do instead, as we saw a little bit in the last episode, I did sign Riley Smith as well as Yanni Gord. Off screen, I also signed Tyler Johnson and Marcus Johansson to round out that bottom six. And then on defense, as you saw, we signed Oliver Shillington. So the team is, I think, looking better. We do have Drake Batherson, who will be replacing Giroux, not only on the first line, but he also will have the A for this season. It was between him and Norris, but Batherson is homegrown, whereas Norris was not. So that was why I made that decision. Otherwise, team's looking pretty good. Yeah, depth-wise, we're definitely a lot better. And then hopefully Batherson can score like 30 goals for us. And then hopefully another step for Brady and Tim. And the goal is to make the playoffs. I think we can definitely do that. As I mentioned, we are a lot better depth-wise, so we should have a better season than last year, hopefully. Still have Allmark as an elite goalie, and Forsberg was great last year as our backup. And then in the AHL, we do have Sogard, who is up to an 81 overall, so that's another option goaltending wise. And then we have our two main prospects here in Dumais at forward. So we'll see how he progresses, hopefully well. And then also our big guy, Carter Yakimchuk, who's a 75. So I think the plan for this year and probably the next is just to kind of stay pat unless we're, really out of the playoffs, which I don't think we will be. And then we can sell off some of our expiring contracts. But I think we stick with what we have. No big moves because I'm hoping that Yakimchuk and Dumais can get into the lineup in the next 1 to 2 years. So that is what we're going to roll with for now. Other than that, I have sorted all the scouts. I did all the off-season conversations and the preseason season goals. I'll wait for probably the first month or two to try and change any scheme fits. But for now, let's get into the start of year 2 here. I will sim to the end of October, and I will come back at that point once we get there. Okay, so November 1st here, 5-1 and 0, sorry, to start the season, so not great. We're kind of middle of the pack for goals for, goals against, but our special teams is struggling to be sure. We are in a playoff spot, however, currently. Still early, obviously, so not taking too much stock in everything. Shane Pinto did just go down with a minor injury. He should be back for the game against the Kings on the 5th, so he should hopefully only miss 3 games there. And then I did do a couple scheme fit conversations. We got Batherson, Riley Smith, and Nick Jensen to buy into our coaching scheme. So we'll try to work on the other guys as we go forward here. But other than that, let's take a look at who's doing what for points. So good news is that we are getting points from our top guys. Chabot and Brady up there in the top 10 for points. Brady is in the top 10 for goals. And Chabot is second in the league in assists, only behind Cale Makar. Overall team stats, Chabot is killing it. So is Brady. Batherson's doing well. Timmy doing well. Yanni Gord doing really well. That's a pretty high shooting percentage, so I'm sure that won't last, but looking good so far. Riley Smith, decent. Perron, decent. Pinto, pretty good. And then Greg and Sanderson is still struggling. I don't understand why he is struggling so much. These other guys, whatever. JBD with a +6, I like that. And then goaltenders, Ullmark not doing great. I mean, he's fine, but Anton Forsberg is playing very well once again to start the year. Okay, so I will check back in on December. Okay, December 1st. We went 8-5-1 in November. So that brings our our place in the standings up a little bit. We're now third in the Atlantic. Brady did go down for about 2 weeks with back spasms, so that set us back a little bit. Yeah, looking good. Winning record in a playoff spot. And let's see if any of these improve. So goals for per game, we are top 10 in the league. That's great. Goals against is about the same. The power play improved a lot, actually. That went from like 8% to nearly 19 now. The penalty kill is still pretty poor, so that is something to consider wanting to work on. Chabot still leading us in points. Him and Brady have fallen out of the top 10 league-wide, but Chabot is still top 10 for assists, and Ullmark has climbed into the top 10 for wins. So let's take a look once again at points after 2 months here. Chabot point per game. So yeah, Brady missed 5 games there, having a great season. Tim doing very well also. Batherson having a good year. Josh Norris pretty good on the second line there. Smith and Gord great on the third line. Perron and Greg are doing okay. Shane Pinto doing pretty well for that third line role. Zub is -3. And Sanderson is -4 with only 9 points and 0 goals. So the struggles continue for Jake Sanderson. I don't know. He's on the first pair. He's getting first line power play time. But Chabot just seems to be outshining him, and I don't know why. Maybe someone... I mean, obviously not this season because we're only 2 years into this series, obviously. But in the future, if he's not producing, he's still got a ton of value. So someone that we can maybe look to move. But we'll hold on that for now, obviously, because we are winning and we are in a playoff spot. Ullmark about the same stats, and Forsberg in his one game that he played this month did go down quite a bit, so probably a bad game from him there, but still doing decent overall, our goaltending. And yeah, other than that, let me try and do a couple more conversations for scheme purposes, and I will check back in January 1st. Okay, so December was a good month for us. We went 10-4-0, which makes us climb up into second in the Atlantic, 5 points behind the Lightning, but they do have a game in hand, so we are solidly in a playoff spot. One thing I did forget to mention in between episodes in the off season is that I did sign Shane Pinto to a contract extension. I signed him to I believe it was a 2-year extension, 3-year extension, 4-year extension actually, at $3.05 million. So I think that's a pretty solid contract. We'll have him till he's 29, and hopefully he can grow a little bit this year and the next, and that will be very good for us going forward. So at this point, we're not really looking to move any of our UFAs because they're helping us win. That would be Perron, Riley Smith, Nick Jensen, Johansson. So yeah, we're going to hold tight on those guys, and let's see how things have improved. So goals for per game, goals against, and the power play are all doing pretty well. Penalty kill is still struggling a little bit, so that's something that we can maybe look to improve on at the trade deadline. And then in terms of overall points, anyone up here? Ullmark is in the top 10 with 18 wins at number 5. And then team-wise, Brady has passed Chabot with 38 points in 33 games, so he's having a great season. Stützle, point per game. Chabot, point per game. Batherson is doing well. Shooting percentage, I would like to be higher, but maybe he's not that shooter. I think the shots are pretty even over that line, right? So some of them are hitting the net or the back of the net more than others. They're getting spread around, so it is what it is. Josh Norris having a decent season. Pinto having a good season, and then everyone else is doing all right. Jake Sanderson, honestly not terrible. He's at, what's that, about 35-point pace. Well, actually, no, that's not great at all. He has scored a couple goals, which is good in that month. But yeah, for a top pair guy who's playing how much? Probably 20, 25 minutes a game. We'd like him to be producing a little more. So maybe what I'll do actually is I'll switch him and Chabot for this next month and see how they produce in that regard, and see if that does anything for his production. But obviously we want to keep Chabot producing because he's doing well, and goaltending stats pretty much the same there. So yeah, I will swap those guys around, try to get a few more persuasion wins for our scheme fits, and I will be back. When's the trade deadline? March, so I'll be back on February 1st. Okay, so February 1st, January did not go well for us. We went 6-9-1, so we are still in second in the division. However, the Leafs and Bruins are just 1 and 2 points behind us, and they have a ton of games in hand, so definitely not safe. We are quite a bit behind the Lightning also, so we do need to pick it up here prior to the trade deadline, definitely. And I do wonder if that change with Sandy and Chabot had something to do with it. Stats are still about the same, looking pretty decent. We are scoring more than we're allowing, which is good. Power play is okay. The penalty kill has gotten slightly better, but still not great in terms of league-wide. And yeah, as I said, still second in the division, but things are getting tight. And Allmark has fallen. I actually don't think he got a single win in that month. Interesting. So points wise, Brady's still doing his thing. Stützle is doing well. He'll be 20 goals, maybe even 30. Batherson not really scoring. His shooting percentage has fallen off a bit actually. And so Chabot had 9 points in, what was that, 16 games? And then Sanderson had 6 points. So definitely better. Yeah, we'll see if that continues. I'll keep it like that for now, unless we do have another losing month, and then I'll switch them back because we were winning prior to that change. Yeah, everyone else is kind of doing whatever. Yeah, that second pair with Zub is not doing great, and the second line are all minuses, but everyone else is okay. Yeah, and goaltending, yeah, Forsberg really fell off, and Allmark actually got quite a bit better over that month, so interesting. Yeah, anyway, we will do the final bit of this video. We'll get up to the trade deadline. I did also get Yanni Gord and Mike Amadio to agree to what Travis Green wanted scheme-wise. So now it is just Ridley Gregg that is not on board. And then the switch up with Sanderson and Chabot put them slightly down chemistry-wise. But anyway, I will see you guys at the start of the trade. Okay, just before the trade deadline here, this is where we'll wrap up this video. We did have a really good stretch here. We went 8-2-0. I guess the Bruins and Leafs played a bunch of their games that they had on us, so we are now all tied at 76 points, but the Bruins have 2 games in hand and the Leafs have 4, so we're definitely teetering on the edge once again. We are 3 points ahead of the Panthers. They would be the team in 9th. But again, they have a game in hand, so it could be as little as 1. So once again, we are at a point where we need to make a decision, I think, based off of the good stretches that we've had and the way the team is set up, I think we can make the playoffs, definitely. So I think we should push towards that, towards being buyers instead of being sellers. But let's take a look at the stats. So yeah, goals for, goals against, and power play are doing well. And the penalty kill is not. So I think that's a thing we need to look at to target, get some really good penalty killers, and that will be our focus for the trade deadline in the next episode. And points wise, anyone snuck up there? No. Allmark did get 6 of our 8 wins in that stretch, so that is excellent for him. And yeah, looking decent. These 4 guys are having good seasons. Pinto on the third line is having a fantastic season, so good to see that out of him. And then these other guys are doing decent. Our new pickups, Riley Smith is playing great. Josh Norris is definitely falling off a little bit. Yanni Gord playing great. And Sanderson is coming back slightly. I think that change is working. Audio with 20 points on the fourth line. That's pretty solid. Johansson as well. All the fourth line actually pretty decent. But those would be guys that we'd look to move in a trade to upgrade the penalty kill. Probably Amadio because he's not currently on the penalty kill. And I like the way that the third line is playing currently. And then bottom pair. Honestly, we might even trade Nick Jensen. He's not doing a ton. Like Shillington has double his points. He has a +9, which is nice, but we could definitely upgrade him. He is pretty good defensively, but if we can get someone better and a little cheaper and younger, then that would be a direction we would definitely like to go. And Olmark still playing solid. Forsberg didn't get a ton of work there. His stats are still slightly below average. So that will be the end of this video. The first half of season 2 up to the trade deadline. In the next video we will go into the trade deadline and we will try to get some guys to upgrade that penalty kill. One thing about this season that could be interesting is that there are 2 medium franchise potential players in the draft, so maybe that's a thought, but I think we are too far away from those low picks, like top 10, and we don't really have a lot of other assets, so probably unrealistic to try and get one of these guys, whether that be through the draft or through a trade. But good to know that they are there, and this draft will be a good one. Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, please like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I will see you next time at the trade deadline.